Hello, welcome to Guides the Unknown. I'm Kristen.
And I'm her little brother, William.
And this week we are talking horror hot takes yet again.
That is not
We
true.
what? What do
We're
you mean
doing
it's not?
question and answer.
Oh.
We're doing hot
We
take second.
Oh. Okay. I did not understand that. All right, they'll start
You
over.
blew it.
All right, hold on.
You're fired.
Let me pull up the proper thing then.
I don't know what your problem is.
This is scintillating viewing for
I
everybody.
wonder. I wonder if this was my mistake.
I
I'm
don't
checking now.
I don't know.
I have no
It could
idea.
very well be my mistake.
Um. Oh, I think I messaged you in a different place and said let's do questions.
Oh, okay.
So it's
What
not it's
what
not
do you
in
mean?
text because I was tagging you in documents and stuff.
Oh, so
So
you
I
tagged
think
me
I
in
think
something
maybe
and said, let's do
yeah,
questions first. Oh,
yeah, it
okay.
probably wasn't super friendly. Sorry about that.
That's okay. That was weird. Why'd you tag that in a document?
I thought you would see
Like a
it.
scheduling note.
I thought you would see it.
Oh, okay. All right. Hello. Welcome to Guides the Unknown. I'm Kristen.
And I'm her little brother, William.
And this week we are talking horror hypotheticals. We've done this in the past and we had a great time with it, so we decided to bring it back. This was a Zoe paternity leave special, if I remember correctly.
Oh, is that right? Is that when we did that the first time?
I think so.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, this
Hmm.
was a fun idea. We wanted to cultivate questions from the listener base. And I love the kinds of hypotheticals where, like, it was super popular for a while to say, if there's a zombie apocalypse, what is your survival plan?
Right.
And 1,000 people answered it. It got, like, played out. But I
Hmm.
want more. I love having to, like, fight through these scenarios. It's almost like a light Dungeons and Dragons kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
Talk it
Yeah.
out, come up with a
Hmm.
plan, stand by your decisions,
Stand by your plan, stand by your man.
and even beyond that, just answering questions from people out in the audience who might have some curiosities about us.
Yeah.
Why not? So yeah, we've cultivated a bunch of questions from people out there. You can always feel free to send more in. Our email address is gttupod@gmail.com. But yeah, we're going to dive into some of your questions and hopefully give you some interesting answers. We'll see.
Absolutely. Let's do it. All
Well,
right.
actually, real quick before we get started, I want to offer something to people out there in the world.
Ah, yes.
I noticed that there is so that the new Scream movie, Scream 2022 or Scream 5, however you prefer to refer to it, is out now on Blu-ray. And it caught my eye online that people were trying to sell a steel book of it, literally a steel case for the 4K Blu-ray online. They were selling it for like, way too much money on eBay.
Right.
Well, I found it nearby, so I got a couple of them, and I figured, why don't we give one away to our listeners?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
it says Scream. It also has a sticker that says all new movie, so you know that it's the 2022 one.
Right.
All the marketing for this movie has to say all new movie,
Yeah.
hot brand new movie. Like
It
the
is such a dumb thing that's
convention.
becoming the standard.
I know.
Like, Halloween 2018, Screen 2022, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. It is such a dumb idea.
I know. It is simultaneously a marketing dream to just be like, it's Scream, and a marketing nightmare to be like, technically this is called All New Movie Scream,
Right.
wherever you go online. Anyway, we want to give this away, and we came up with a fun thing to do. So anybody out there, if you share Guide to the Unknown with the world, your name is going into a hat.
Right. So what that means is that if you put up a post on any social media, and or you leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts, send us those at gttupod@gmail.com, just screenshots of them, and you will be entered for each of those share points into a hat that we will then pick a name from and send the steelbook.
So every time you post something, your name goes into the hat again. So the more stuff you share, the more chances you have to win. Anyway, we're going to do that this week. We'll announce a winner next week. And then this will be on its way to you with a little note from us.
That's right. Will, do you want to explain what a steelbook is?
Yeah, it's almost like a collector's version of the Blu-ray. So this is not just like a plastic thing. My hand's not made of metal, so I can't make a little metal sound. Let me
But
see.
it's metal. It's steel.
That sounded stupid. It's literally like a metal box. It's a collector's tin.
Yep.
But this is the 4K Ultra HD plus Blu-ray plus digital version of the movie. It is shrink wrapped. You can wait for it to get super rare and sell it, or open it up and watch it. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
And it even comes with deleted scenes.
Ooh.
So that's cool.
I am excited to watch extras.
I know. Yeah, me too.
Oh, I'll be rigging this so that I win the steelbook.
Okay, well then share a bunch of stuff.
Aha.
All right, yeah, we can enter it ourselves as well.
Great.
All right, everybody, but that's this week. So go share stuff. We would greatly appreciate that, and maybe you'll get this little movie.
Yeah, absolutely. So the deadline for that is going to be next Tuesday.
Yes,
Or excuse me, would it be next Tuesday?
Tuesday the 19th.
Yep, Tuesday 19th. Okay,
Yep.
so get cracking.
Or Friday the 22nd. We'll
That's what
open it up to anybody who hears this before the next episode drops live. Friday
that's
the
why I was
22nd is the deadline.
Right.
All right.
All right. So now let's dive into a horror hypothetical question. And this one comes from our listener, Barb. They say, if you could spend one weekend locked in a room with a member of the Addams family, who would you pick? William, you go first.
I know this is an odd one. So you're
Mhm.
locked in just our room.
Right.
So it's not going to be easygoing. Right?
No matter what, no matter who is in there.
So I think some of the popular answers that most people would go to would be like, "Oh, I'm going to be locked in there with Kata Mia." What's her
With
name?
Gomez, so he can kiss my arm.
Yeah, exactly, right? Or Morticia.
Mhm.
But I think that's too easy. So I do want to dig a little bit deeper.
Okay.
No matter what, it's not Fester.
No, absolutely. Because he would be freaking out about being locked in the room the entire time.
Yeah, he'd be putting light bulbs in his mouth. He'd bring
Mhm.
grenades in there and TNT and stuff.
I think you're at a ton of risk if you choose Fester. Even though he's
Yeah.
really nice, it seems like he's like one of the least sinister. He could accidentally stumble into a situation where you're really in harm's way.
Correct. And I'm not a member of the Addams family, so I'm not immune to explosions.
No.
So I might die, even though for him, this is just like a fun thing to do on a silly weekend.
Right.
I'm inclined to say Granny. Because I bet
yeah.
she's undervalued, and I bet she's got a lot of stories.
That's a really good point. She probably does have a lot of really good stories.
And magic, right?
Making Granny a good pick. Yeah.
Yes, I think Granny is not a terrible pick.
No.
The easy answers again for presumed romantic reasons, but Gomez and Morticia are so into each other. You can't
You're not
be
gonna
like,
be able
this is
to-
going to be a weekend retreat.
No, you're not gonna be able to worm your way in there. They're
No.
definitely not into. Like,
Nor would that be
swing.
my intent, by the way. I'm just saying I feel like the on the face,
Yes,
the
of
on the
course.
face average person answer would be like, ooh, a weekend away with Morticia.
Yeah.
Tish, that's French. I know
Well,
French.
I gotta tell you, I would choose Morticia myself.
Oh, okay.
Not for amorous reasons,
Right.
but I think that she would be chill to be in there with.
I know
I
she
think
does
that
seem
we'd
cool.
be able to talk and like have interesting conversations, but then also kind of go to our separate corners for like alone time or whatever.
Yeah.
And just do whatever else. So I think that would be the easiest going with Morticia.
Alone time is a really good
Mhm.
like metric here.
Yeah, and I think she wouldn't mind like that we are, sitting on opposite sides of the room, like flipping through whatever we have access to in this scenario. I don't know if we have
Yeah.
our phones, maybe we could have a couple books. I think she'd be fine with us having some comfortable silence. And that's important to me.
I definitely agree with you there. I think you're right about that. For alone time reasons, I also want to throw out, and I know this is weird,
Mm-hmm.
Lurch. I bet you could just tell Lurch to face the corner.
I bet you're right. I mean,
Right?
he's used to a life of servitude.
The dude has no personality.
Right. Yeah, he just every once in a while is like,
You rang.
yeah.
Actually, I'm slightly
Or-
under the weather, so I can perfectly do that right now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to do it again?
You rang.
Yes.
I added
very
a little
nice and
spice there.
deep. It also kind of sounds like that bad guy from The Easter Bunny is Coming to Town. Who's the
Oh, yeah,
monster guy?
Gadzooks.
Gadzooks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Gadzooks.
kind of sounded like that.
Gadzooks.
Let me throw someone else at you for alone time reasons.
Please.
Thing.
Thing. Yeah,
The
he's just
hand.
like a pet hand. Although,
Mm-hmm.
he also doesn't Thing doesn't have a sense of personal boundaries.
I was thinking the same.
He seems to, because he freaks out strangers all the time, so he's always climbing up onto someone's shoulder
Yeah.
and gesturing. He's got too much personality. I think it would be
And
too
he might
much.
get bored in that
Yes.
room, so he starts to mess with you because he's used to like skateboarding
Right.
in his free time and stuff.
Yeah, if Thing is in there without his skateboard,
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Then
know.
he's gonna get antsy. He's gonna be
Yeah.
crawling the walls, going in your hair.
Too much.
So
Yeah.
not
I
a
might
great
also get
idea.
along with Pubert.
Pubert actually was my first thought.
Really?
Yes, that was the first thing that sprang to mind. But then I thought, like, just a person and a baby in a room
Yeah.
without any other stimulation for the baby, Pubert's gonna go nuts.
Oh, you're absolutely right about that. You're right.
Yeah.
Remember in Addams Family Values when Joan Cusack sucks Thing's finger?
Yes. That movie is very spicy.
That movie is out of control.
It really is.
That's a wild movie.
You see, I think I've said this on the show before. This is why the phrase is at the ready. You see Fester's O face.
Yeah.
Never wanted to do that.
Fester's O face. You're right.
It's
You're right.
very risque.
You see that Christopher Lloyd is going to be in a Spirit Halloween movie?
Yes, I did.
That sounds
It's like,
fun.
yeah, it's like a kid's movie.
Yeah, that'll be
I'm in.
silly and fun. Yeah, why not?
Mm-hmm. Totally.
All right, I'm going to throw one at you now.
Okay.
This is a similar sort of like a little bit of would you rather, and also sort of like a vacation type question
Okay.
from Kat. Would you rather spend a week on the International Space Station,
Mm-hmm.
orbiting the planet Earth, Kristen,
Okay.
or a week in a hotel at the bottom of the ocean?
Oh wow, that's a good question.
I know. Distinct, dramatic opposites.
Yes.
High, wild contrast here.
But both extremely claustrophobic.
Yes.
Okay, because they're both so claustrophobic, I'm going to go hotel in the bottom of the ocean because I do think I could appreciate the beauty around me.
Yeah.
Not that I couldn't in space, but you have to wear like a diaper in space and stuff.
I'm
and
sure-
you can't
I'm sure
you can't eat normal food.
I'm sure you can wear a diaper in space. I think they have bathrooms, don't they?
My impression was that you know what?
You're
This
thinking
could-
of that one astronaut who drove across the country.
No, that's not what I'm thinking about for a moment.
Does everyone
'cause
remember that?
Because I usually am thinking about that. Oh, I
I'm
absolutely
usually thinking about that.
remember that.
Constantly.
No, but you know what? I thought I hadn't given this much thought at all. I really thought you had to wear a diaper in space.
I don't think
Because
so.
think about it. How are you gonna pee? Like your poop would just fly out of the toilet unless there's like a fancy.
No, I think they
which
have
there could be.
Kristen, I think they have a mechanism. There's not a first of all, there's no
You said you think there's a bathroom.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a conventional bathroom.
Yeah,
What are you
but
talking
so
about?
what is it?
You think it's just a bowl with water? How would the water even stay in it? No, I think that
I
there's
didn't
like
even think water, but I don't know. When you said there's a bathroom, I thought that it meant there was a bowl. Like I don't know, like an airplane.
yeah, right now in the live chat, Kit Kat has written they have bathrooms, pee funnel, poop funnel, and Matthew Deegan added urine is recycled. Meaning it becomes new urine.
Right.
No, I'm sure that you sort of like dock to something. Like an air shaft. You know what I mean? I'm sure that you
When you said
back
you
your
docked to
caboose up to
something,
something.
it made me think about like another ship is docking up to you for the
Yes.
purpose of the bathroom.
Oh, well, not quite. Yeah, there's a big floating like
Yeah, like a big
Poop
floating
ship.
porta-john
yeah.
that somehow latches onto the ship and a portal opens.
I mean that would
No,
be
well,
kind of
you know what?
brilliant.
Even the fact that we have to discuss this, that we have to
We have to.
discuss this,
We have no option.
means that it's too complicated. So that's a strike.
Okay.
You can't eat like normal food or wear your normal clothes.
yeah.
So I would find them both claustrophobic. I would not want to do either one of those things.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say the hotel under the sea wins by a landslide.
Kristen, I'm going to agree with you
Okay.
by a country mile.
Mm.
Hotel under the sea wins. For one thing,
Yeah.
the way that this is phrased, and this is never going to happen, so we're going to take it at its exact phrasing. Kat said, spend a week at a hotel at the bottom of the ocean. To my understanding, no one's ever gotten to the bottom of the ocean. So if
Right. So
this is
this
already a
is,
magical scenario,
so to
we're
speak.
going where no one's ever been, and
Right.
somebody figured out how to construct something down there. And it's a
Right.
hotel, so presumably it's open for business.
Mm-hmm.
So we can, feel a little bit safe down there.
Right.
It would be fascinating to try to look out and see what's down there. I'm sure it's almost pitch black, but I bet they came up with some cool lighting for
Yeah,
this
totally.
insanely expensive hotel.
It probably look awesome.
And again, my top criteria is bathroom accessibility.
Yeah.
They'll limit anything. So
Take a shower.
yeah,
Like you have to. I don't know what you have to do in space. Just use a wipe.
yeah,
I don't
I think
know.
they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems
So
awful.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's not for me.
not
Is
for
what
me.
I know.
Yeah, I'm ready to go to the bottom of the ocean. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. And looks like Kat has another hypothetical for us. Would you rather spend one night in an actual haunted house or a week in the woods?
Actual haunted house.
Right. So this
Huh.
is ghosts are real. We know this.
Yeah.
And where would you rather hang out?
So this is playing into the idea a little bit of like I don't know. I can't tell you that I believe in ghosts. I would love to,
Right.
but I've never seen one. We're saying this is confirmed beyond a shadow of a doubt. This house is genuinely haunted.
We know this now.
We know this to be true. But also I love the woods. Oh, I just came up with it. I know my answer exactly. Haunted house. 100%.
Okay.
You know why?
Yeah. Why?
Because I can already go to the woods if I want to. I did, in
Right.
fact, a few maybe I guess sometime last year. Allie and I rented a house in the middle of nowhere and just
Right.
went out with Molly the dog and Zoe the baby, and we spent a few days, and it was lovely, absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
So it can be
Yeah.
done.
Right.
Therefore, haunted house
May as well.
can't necessarily be done.
Right. I feel the same way. I have the option of doing that, of going to the woods, but a
Yeah.
truly haunted house. Also, I wouldn't want to be in the woods for a week, I'm not going to lie, because I
Really?
also don't think in this hypothetical it means like a nice Airbnb cabin in the woods. I think it's probably like camping, I would imagine.
Oh, you
Spend
think so?
spend a week in the woods or in a
Oh.
haunted house,
Like a Blair Witch style week in the woods.
maybe.
Hopefully not fully Blair Witch style.
I
It's
know.
like you're walking in the same direction
Right.
for 7 days.
Fingers crossed, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I would go one night in a haunted house, because also haunted doesn't necessarily mean like super scary and awful. Maybe I'm getting a whiff of nice perfume every once in a while,
Or getting a
or
whiff of
somebody
something else.
smoothing my brow
R-
as I'm going to sleep. Actually, that sounds really
sounds
scary.
horrible.
I know.
What
I was
are
trying
you
to think of a
talking
nice
about?
ghost doing something soothing. I know, you're totally right.
No, listen, I don't care how nice the ghost is. The second that something defies reality,
It's very scary.
even if a ghost tries to like hand me a candy bar and I see it
Yeah.
floating through the air to me, even though we can agree that's theoretically a kind gesture, how horrific to see something
Yes.
impossible, seemingly impossible, happen in front of you. So no matter what, I think it's going to be scary.
Yeah, it's
Um,
absolutely true.
But I still pick haunted house because then I would finally know.
I do too.
I
Yeah,
would
haunted house for me.
finally know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Kristen, who is the scariest horror villain of all time? This comes to us from Megan.
Huh. The scariest horror villain of all time. That's a good question.
I know, it's tricky.
My mind first went Jigsaw.
Oh, that's interesting. That's why I
I
think
don't
this is
know
like
if
a
I
gut
stand-
time question.
Yeah, right. I don't know if I would stand by that under further scrutiny, but it like there's no reasoning with Jigsaw. He's off-site.
And
You
he insists that he's correct.
Right. And so like even to get out of the trap, even if you succeed, you lose.
Mm-hmm.
That's horrifying. They're really like
Yeah.
he's really taken away like all option from you.
That's true. Yeah. And there are no
So-
loopholes. He's said to
No.
have figured out every possible contingent.
Right. And there's a time limit on figuring that out.
Yeah, don't like that.
That is so scary. And also like a pig man comes to you and puts like a bag over your head. The entire affair is really off the charts. So without giving it further thought, I'm going to say Jigsaw.
There's not one nice part.
No, there's not
You
one
know,
redeeming.
that's
Well,
that's not true. There is a nice part.
what?
If you win and that little
Mhm.
puppet comes out on a tricycle and you see the light dazzle off its little red shoes, that's
Yeah,
kind
but
of nice.
it's kind of nice, but you're probably like bleeding from your eyes by the time that happens
You're in no condition to enjoy
to
it,
enjoy it, right?
but it
So
is nice.
it's okay.
Yeah. Similarly, I'm gonna go with a gut one, and then I'm gonna try
Yeah.
to unpack why. I
Hmm.
instantly thought of Pennywise.
Oh, okay.
Instantly, immediately, and I'm not even that big a fan of it. Um,
He is really scary.
he's really scary. He's like supremely unknowable.
Right. And he turns into whatever you most fear.
Right, so he's literally the embodiment of fear in a
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Also, that face in the sewer. I know that's the iconic moment. Listen, we've talked a lot
But
about
that's
it. We don't
messed
only
up.
know the glancing blows stuff. We've read the books.
Oh, yeah.
The one book.
Hmm.
We've seen every iteration of the movie,
Right.
but I still think of his face in the sewer the way I think just about anybody does.
It's
Um,
scary.
but also that thing of being like, "Well, hiya, Georgie. My name is Bob Gray." And you're like, "Well,
Hmm.
what does that mean? Who the hell is Bob Gray? What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
There's like a multi-personalityness to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
Stephen King in the last couple of weeks blew up
Oh,
horror world. I just realized this.
I shared
remembered it.
this on our Patreon Discord.
Okay. So I guess somebody was like, Stephen King tweeted like, people always debate who's the most evil character, Pennywise or Randall Flagg. Randall Flagg is a
Mhm.
recurring villain in a lot of King stories. And he goes, but I've never seen anybody point out, what if they're the same person?
Right.
And like Stephen King Twitter, horror Twitter went, what?
Whoa.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Pennywise is legitimately the big villain of all
Right.
Stephen King works.
And that does seem like something that he would do to make almost
Absolutely.
everything intertwined
Yes.
in some way. I also think he could have just been having fun. But
Oh,
I also
certainly.
could believe that that is his headcanon.
I agree with that. I agree he might be having fun. I also
Mhm.
think it's not impossible that Stephen King is the kind of guy to go like, well, I just thought of it, so it's
Yeah.
a
Oh,
fact now.
totally. Yes.
He's the creator, so if he thinks
Yeah.
that that's the case, it's the case.
Yeah, it's like J.K. Rowling saying that Dumbledore is gay
I know.
all of a
Hey,
sudden.
man,
Friggin'
what is going
demon.
on with Harry Potter stuff? That new movie is getting Dunkaroo review-aroos.
Yeah, well, she gets a huge Dunkaroo review from me. So,
I agree. I'm with you.
you know, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do about it, Kristen?
I don't know. I kind of want to cover up my Harry Potter tattoos, though.
Do you really?
I kind of do. I find her repugnant,
I
which is not a
know.
huge surprise or anything.
So you
but
can't separate the art from the artist in this case?
I don't think I can.
I
Not
think
anymore.
they've got to make a statement if they want to. They've got to make a statement and like be like, no, Harry Potter is now a thing outside J.K. Rowling. It's gonna happen anyway. Nobody lives forever.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It's not something I've really thought. I mean, the tattoo thing, like a
Yeah, yeah.
ton about. But I definitely am like, ugh.
Cover them all with Guide to the Unknown stuff.
Yeah, just
All
the
of them.
logo. Boom, boom, boom.
Well, let's
All right.
stay in Stephen Kingiverse. How's that
Okay.
sound?
Sounds good to me.
Here's a question from Carrie. You've got to choose of these two things. One gets erased from existence. It's erased from all memory. Nobody even knows that it happened.
Okay.
Which do you choose? The book The Shining
Okay.
or the movie The Shining?
Hmm.
So there's a potential here for people being like, I love that Jack Nicholson movie The Shining. It's based on nothing. I don't know what it's
Yeah.
based on. There is no source material.
No, it's just an original idea
Yeah.
that uses like a bare framework
Spooky
from the
haunted
book The
house.
Shining. Yeah. So what would
Well,
I
no, if the book no longer exists,
Oh, I thought you were saying that people right now in the real world might not realize that the book and the movie are super different.
yeah.
So I misunderstood. Um
Well,
Okay,
that
so
is the fun of the question because they are super de duper different.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
I really love both.
yeah.
I gotta say, I want the movie The Shining to stick around.
Really?
Yeah, because I've rewatched The Shining and plan to a whole bunch of
Yeah.
times. And I've read the book once, maybe twice, maybe. I kind of think just once. And I'm not against rereading it, but it's not really on my list. So I would want the movie.
Yeah, I guess there's also the potential snowball effect here of like the movie has inspired, I mean, untold vast quantities of films, books, movies, television that I love.
So if you zap that out of existence, does it zap those things out of existence?
Exactly.
That's a
Or
very good point.
or um if you zap the book. See, I guess here's the trouble spot because I'm almost like
If you
you
zap the book, it zaps the movie.
but evidently not.
If we're playing by these rules.
I know. I'm
But we
saying
were
so. Maybe we can't play by those rules. So maybe you can zap the movie, and then everything that was inspired by it is still here. It's just
yeah,
the
right.
inspiration for it is magically gone. Here's the weird thing about if you keep the book, you get rid of the movie.
Mhm.
Somebody might readapt the book and make a great Shining movie.
Yeah.
But if you
Yeah, absolutely.
if you get rid of the book, there's so much stuff that's just gone. The book and the movie are
Yeah.
so different. There's so many interesting subplots in the book, and certainly gross stuff
Mhm.
that I wouldn't be sorry to forget about. But the
Right.
book is just so gigantic and
Yeah.
huge and
Yes.
interesting. I think ultimately I'm gonna side with the book. I
Yeah.
really like the book quite a bit. Uh,
That's
and
completely fair.
I've always felt like they're two different things almost. But
They completely are.
when push comes to shove, I think I'm going to go with the vast wealth of material of the book and say, hey, somebody's going to make a movie out of this someday.
Right. That's
Mm-hmm.
completely understandable. All right, let's go to this question from Mike. They ask, which cryptid do you think has the best chance of actually existing?
Huh. Huh.
Hmm.
That's interesting.
Well, I
So,
got one right off the tick if you need
oh,
to
really?
think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Bigfoot.
Oh, you think so?
I think it's totally possible.
But so many
Some
people spend so much time and money searching for him.
I know, but my understanding is that the woods of some areas are denser than I can even possibly consider. Like,
Yeah.
think about missing people who have gone lost in really dense areas of wood who've just never, no trace of them has been found
Yeah, that's
because
true.
the areas are just so incredibly sprawling, but also so densely packed with trees and,
Yeah.
local flora and fauna or whatever, that they just can't be found. So, of everything, I don't think it's super likely,
Yeah.
but it's really not that out there to me that there could be a Bigfoot, a Sasquatch, whatever.
Yeah, I think you've got a very interesting justification that I can get on board with. Your example of like humans go missing and we don't know what
Mhm.
happened is a really really good one.
Yeah, I mean, and specifically I mean, not only in that situation, but on hikes and walks in wooded areas that are really dense. I
Yeah,
know that
true.
that's a thing.
I'm gonna go with a fairly almost boring one, but I do think it's just likely, more likely, I should say, the chupacabra.
Okay.
Right? Because all that's known about the chupacabra anyway, to my understanding, it's been a while since I've looked at the chupacabra homepage
Yeah, same.
on the Princeton website. That's true. Look up our
Hmm.
episode, Chamo Jones, and the chupacabra homepage.
Right.
One of the greatest discoveries we've ever made.
Absolutely.
But the chupacabra is just an explanation for all these cows were drained of their blood. It's just an animal predator. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? They're not saying that it's imbued with some mythic power or that it
Yeah.
is, some missing link from, a fluke of evolution. It's
That's true.
just an animal that's got to eat or
Hmm.
drink blood. That makes sense to me.
Yeah. No, you're right. That I
Yeah.
think they're both pretty reasonable.
All right, I got a quick one for you here too. Maybe not that quick, actually. This is from Carrie. Shag, marry, kill. Canoodle, marry, kill. How do you feel about that?
Okay. Oh, what did I say when I went? I went on I think on American Hysteria,
Yeah,
and
you did.
God, what the hell was it? It was like it doesn't matter. It was like cuddle something or
Yeah,
whatever.
something like that. Mothman, Bigfoot, Nessie.
Kill Nessie, obviously.
Why?
Snooze.
It's just a big
Because I find
dinosaur.
because I find Nessie bores me.
Okay, fine.
If I'm living a life of shagging and marrying,
Yeah.
Nessie's not making the cut.
Okay, all right.
Okay, and then it was Bigfoot and Mothman.
Bigfoot and Mothman, yeah.
Let's see. Ugh, I don't want to shag either of them.
I know. There's no canoodling to be done with any of these creatures.
What's
in
the
my
good
opinion.
answer?
No.
Yeah, canoodle, right? God, let me think. I mean, I guess Mothman because just based on name, he might have some more human attributes
Yeah, there might
than
be
Bigfoot.
a degree of humanity there.
Right.
Right.
So I guess canoodle with Mothman and marry Bigfoot.
You just gotta hope he doesn't give you the injured cold shoulder.
Oh, William.
Bazinga.
Or I do hope that, like,
Yeah,
because
true.
I'm being forced into this situation, so I'm like, oh
Yeah, I
God,
really
please give me
wanna.
the injured cold shoulder, and he just
Yeah.
ignores me and like hangs out in a different part of the nuclear plant, and I just take
Yeah.
a walk.
So you would marry Bigfoot?
Yeah, I don't have to do anything else with him, but I could legally marry Bigfoot. It is down in stone and written to the rules that I must
You
canoodle
must. Yeah, I
with
know it's
someone.
true. It is
I
complicated.
could just have a marriage of convenience with the other one. And so yes, I would have if I have to do this then it's Bigfoot.
Well, one thing's for certain, you'll get plenty of alone time. Never even see the guy.
Yeah. William?
I've got a lot of good like sitcom
Yeah.
jokes about relationships with cryptids.
Right. Okay, so what would you do?
Get at me, NBC. I think I would I want to marry Mothman
Okay.
because Mothman's able to predict like when things are going to go wrong
That's a great
and
point.
seemingly can fly.
Right.
Right? So I might get to fly around in the sky. So that's kind of nice. And then I'll
Absolutely.
get some cryptic hints, that I'm going to burn the toast or something like that.
Yeah.
Bigfoot and Nessie. I don't really want to kill anything either. We don't really
No,
talk
I
about
don't
that.
either,
But
of
I don't want
course.
to kill anybody.
No, of course not.
I'll shag or canoodle. You know what? I'll canoodle the Loch Ness monster purely because I don't think that thing gets enough love. It seems like everybody hates this Loch Ness monster.
Everybody, I think it's just me.
I'll give it a little kiss on its head.
I think the Loch Ness monster is fine. That's part of why I feel comfortable voicing my, semi distaste for it because
Fair
I don't
enough,
think
yeah.
I'm gonna hurt its feelings.
I know
People are
that's
fine.
true. That's true.
There are those Nessie like ladles. People love them.
Okay, if you say so. There's a lot of negativity here on Guide to the Unknown about this Loch Ness monster.
Yeah, it's true.
But I'm gonna go, and I don't really have this bone in my body, but I'm gonna go down in history as the man who killed Bigfoot. I'm gonna be famous for finding, proving the existence of,
God.
and killing.
You're gonna be like Eric Trump, like holding up a
No!
rhino horn.
Oh, you just ruined it. You ruined the dream. You ruined the dream.
You were taking a little bit too much pride in it.
There could have been documentaries just simply titled "The Man Who Killed Bigfoot,"
right?
and it's about me. That sounds cool. I lie and say that I was
cool,
protecting people.
And not that you were just scared.
Make up some
And
propaganda or signed a contract with Carrie.
Did it immediately? Yeah, right.
A listener forced me to.
Yeah, they held us to it.
I had no alternative. All right, here's a great question. I have my answer right off the bat. I almost want to say you could do 3. I almost want to say. Let's see if you have one right off the top of your head. This is from Rebecca.
Okay.
If you could immediately solve any unsolved mysteries in history, what mystery would you choose and why?
I want to know who that Zodiac is.
That's mine. That is mine. That is the answer that I instantly came up with. I want to know who the Zodiac was. I gotta know.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta know.
I gotta know, and I don't think we're ever going to know. So I'm gonna need the power. of, the powers of that this question is bestowing on us.
It feels like the only chance we'll ever have to know who the Zodiac was is that because he's probably too old now, right?
Yeah,
If he's alive,
right.
is that he left, a cipher for some descendant to prove that it's him
Oh
long
my
after his
God.
death. Like Mark Twain wrote an autobiography but said he can't publish it until 100 years after my death.
Which is so awesome.
It's so cool. Did the Zodiac do some sort of time capsule, time released thing just to revel in it but never have to pay for his crimes?
I mean, it seems like that isn't such an implausible scenario because he obviously really liked the razzle dazzle of the whole thing.
He did, yeah.
So that's not impossible, but I don't think it's ever going to happen, really,
I
because
know.
we
I
would
think you're
need.
right.
There isn't, if I remember correctly, there isn't really like super viable DNA material that we could even use to compare against something, I
Yeah,
believe.
right.
So anything would be anecdotal and could be probably disproven as easily as it's proven.
It's true.
Right? Like remember there was I think earlier in the last year, so in 2021, they said that they found the Zodiac and
Yep.
it fell apart pretty
Oh, they say this
quickly.
all the time. It seems like periodically some article comes out where they're like, solved after so long, the Zodiac proven. It's who knows.
Maybe because it was still COVID time, I feel like there was an especially large, like, whoa,
Oh, really?
kind of like freak out feeling around it, but it ended up not being the case. So, yeah, so Zodiac for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man, what's another one of yours?
So mine, fairly pedestrian. I was also going to go with Jack the Ripper. Not that it would mean anything, because it would just be like his name was Howard Brumholt.
Right, but it would be good to know
just
because
be
we've all
interesting to know.
wondered for so long.
We've
It's
all
such an
wondered.
iconic mystery.
Yes, and the mysteries of the afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know. Do we get like a full data dump from these things?
Right.
Like if I solve the mystery, like with a wave of my wand,
Mm-hmm.
snap of my fingers, do I know everything? Like
Right, or are we
when
getting
you
like
die,
a sentence?
here's exactly what happens. If it's not just your brain turns off, the electricity in your body dissipates, goes into
Right.
the atmosphere or whatever. You get to know literally everything. I want to know every nitty gritty detail. What are
Yeah.
ghosts? What sightings are real? What sightings are fake? Jack the Ripper, who was he? Did anybody ever figure out who he was? And we
Yeah,
just don't
that would be
know.
interesting
Same
too.
with
Like
Zodiac.
people who maybe thought it, but they didn't want to accuse somebody of something so big,
Yeah.
and now they find out that it is the case. That would be really interesting. I would like to know what secrets the government knows about aliens and UFOs and stuff that they don't tell us. Because they'll release like, they'll declassify things every once in a while, but I have to imagine that there's more to it that they hold back. I'd be very curious to know what information they've been able to amass and then just kind of like keep to themselves.
Yeah, that's a very interesting one. Yeah, because there is so much potential misdirect information out there now.
Hmm.
Like, are they using these reports about UFOs to even hide the real truth,
Right. I
the
mean,
further, deeper truth?
who knows? But I've always, and I know that this doesn't happen. I've always loved the idea that like one president like sits down with the next president
I
on
know.
his way, on his way out, and like is like, all right, so here's the deal,
Yeah,
and like lays the story on him. I would just really like to know the inside conversations
I know.
about this kind of stuff because it's so out there and it's become such a and is such like a sci-fi sort of thing. It'd be so interesting to hear what people at high levels who ostensibly take things like really seriously and logically and whatever, I would like to hear what they have to say
Yeah,
behind closed doors.
firmly agreed. I would love
Yeah, it'd be
to
so
know that kind of thing.
interesting.
I want to read, like, are there already speeches written in case an alien
Right.
comes down, so that whatever sitting president, because it's a
Yeah.
rotating door,
Yep.
right? Whatever president's just handed a speech and they're like, we've had this written for 70 years.
Yeah.
Read this now. And they're like, my fellow Americans, P2 is a hell of a guy.
Who is this president?
I
Is
wonder
this
who
Bill
this was
Clinton?
written for. Yeah. Yeah. Chris, I can do an
My
impression of
fellow
any.
Americans.
Give me any president.
W.
W.
Yeah.
Contagious. that's,
What?
that's all I came up with. I don't know.
When did he say that?
Strategery.
Strategery.
There
Oh
you
my
go. That's
god.
the Will Ferrell one.
What a trip that guy was.
Well, they're all trips. Literally
I
every
know.
president is a trip.
Absolutely. But he's making up words left and right is wild.
I used to tell Allie, I'd be like, here's my impression of Jefferson. How you doing, everybody? It's nice to see you. You can't disprove it.
Yeah, right. Nobody.
I got an impression of everybody.
That could be perfectly right.
I've even got a Washington. How's it going, gang? It's so nice to see you. It's so nice to be here. Those are the wooden teeth. All right,
They're kind of getting in the way.
let's take a break. But here's a not horror one that I want to do just because it's fun. This came to us from Megan. Kristen, what is your favorite candle scent?
Oh, thank you for asking. I actually do have a current favorite candle scent. It is Room 237
Oh,
from Purgatory Candle Company. I just realized it sounds like you're setting me up for an ad, maybe.
it does.
Not the case.
I picked a non-horror question just for fun, but it has a horror answer. I
Yeah.
did not know.
Yeah. No, it's a horror themed candle company. I got Will a couple of them for Christmas or his birthday or something.
Yeah, I think I have them right here.
And yeah, and this scent Room 237 is, I think that it's described as being like bay rum and tobacco or something.
Yeah.
And actually I received it by accident while I was placing an order. They substituted it for something else by accident, and I emailed them and they said, "Oh, just hang on to it and we'll send you the right thing." And I ended up loving it. And I've bought this same candle multiple times, and actually, if you're watching the video version, you can see behind me, probably can't tell what it is, but I bought a wax warmer for the first time in my life because buying the wax melts is less expensive than buying the candle itself, and I am so enamored of this scent that I want to be able to have it going like all the time.
You can't imagine your life without it.
I can't imagine my life without it. No, but I love it. That's my current favorite.
Interesting. Wow, that was a deeper answer than anticipated.
Oh, I love candles. We could do a whole candle cast.
Mine, for
I
the
have more
record,
thoughts.
mine for the record is anything that smells like the forest or cookies.
Hmm,
Okay. Why don't we take a quick break and then we're gonna do some more questions here. How does
perfect.
that sound to you?
Sounds great.
All right.
So we want to take a minute to tell you about our sponsor, NordVPN.
That's right. Right now, no matter where you are, there's a good chance that you, yes, you, are being tracked. Your phone, your laptop, your tablet. I know for sure that marketers are constantly after me. Hackers, and who knows who else.
Right. So the best way to hide on the World Wide Web? Using a VPN to encrypt your traffic, hide your IP, and cover your tracks online. Use it at home, at work, and on the go to enjoy nonstop protection. Nonstop, round the clock.
We are using it right now ourselves. This is true. And it
Mhm.
is unbelievable how easy it is to set it all up, tap a button, and bam, you are hidden online. You can join servers all over the globe. I've done this myself. I was playing around with it earlier, and I could even join servers in Romania. So who knows? I might even be connected to the internet from Dracula's castle in Transylvania. No guarantees
Ooh.
on that. I just who knows? Maybe.
It could be. If you want to attempt to connect to Dracula's castle in Transylvania, right now NordVPN is offering a discount to new users who visit nordvpn.com/GTTUpod and you put in the promo code GTTU.
Yep. Get that discount. Get a free month and free threat protection today. That is nordvpn.com/GTTUpod. Promo code GTTU. And if you change your mind, you're going to be protected by their 30-day money-back guarantee. So what do you have to lose?
Absolutely.
Protect
you can be
yourself.
protected.
Yeah, hide
You
from
can
nefarious parties on the internet.
Absolutely. And you can check out, I know a lot of people use VPNs to like check out news in different countries or something or videos. VPNs are like a whole thing that can benefit you safety wise, but also entertainment wise. So definitely go check out nordvpn.com.
Yep, we've got links in the show notes right this second. Check it out.
Mm-hmm.
I did this last week and I want to do this week as well. I want to boost some people. I have got the portfolio right in front of us here for Ariana Goodman. who I worked with at Hunt a Killer, is an incredible writer, an insanely talented person. And you can check out Ariana's portfolio at allomythic.com. That is ALLO mythic, MYTHIC.com. And here's what she has to say about herself. Hi, my name is Ariana Goodman, and I'm a game writer and narrative designer with a background in research and technology. In my spare time, I enjoy world building, light programming, and studying linguistics. On the main page, I basically dump everything I'm passionate about on the internet, but on my portfolio, you'll find more curated examples of my work, both commercially and not. And you need to check this out. Ariana worked on Royal Street for Hunt a Killer, Body on the Boardwalk, Nancy Drew.
That is my favorite one. I
Yes,
love that. Look at the design of that and
I
everything.
know. I know. It's so cool. Blair Witch. So Ariana and I wrote together on Blair Witch season 2, and it was so much fun talking with Ariana about story possibilities, even just chatting on the side. Ariana is a wonderful person, and you should definitely check out all of her work. Allomythic.com. Boost the signal. Get her out there, and what a terrific person. So that's Ariana. All right.
Excellent. All
Let's do
right.
some more questions here.
All right. That was Ariana, and this is Megan.
Yes.
Megan asked, "What horror character do you wish survived their story/movie?" So, who's somebody that you were really bummed when they died?
All right. I have an instant one that comes to mind, and I feel like you might be able to guess it.
Okay.
It is fairly obvious, and it seems like it might happen.
It seems like it might happen.
It might come to pass that this character did survive.
Oh, what's her name? Kirby.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That is the first one that comes to mind. Kirby in Scream 4,
Mm-hmm.
played by Hayden Panettiere,
Right.
is such a fun character, fits the vibe of Scream,
Mm-hmm.
sells all the horror knowledge stuff, which every single character in a Scream movie seems to need to know the ins and outs of literally everything. She
Right.
sells it so well, and her death is so sudden and sad,
Yeah.
that I think it would be really interesting to see what she's become, see
Mm-hmm.
the baggage of this life on her. I love Scream as sort of a charting the growth of a person. I think Kirby would be a fascinating one.
All right. Mine is also from Scream.
Oh.
And I think it would have been really interesting, even though it's such a good kill. It's obviously an iconic kill. I don't want to keep using that word, but it is.
Oh, I know
Um,
who you're gonna say.
Go ahead.
Tom Prinz from Scream 3, who
How did
blows up
you
because he doesn't smell
know?
gas.
Yeah, that's right. It would have been so interesting to see where he went in the
Where's
rest of the
Tom
movie.
Prinz today?
Yeah. No, Casey Becker in the first Scream.
Oh.
Think about how weird and interesting it would be to see Drew Barrymore like sitting by the fountain with
Yeah.
the rest of the people, like talking about the murders that just happened or whatever.
Yeah, that's a fun one because it rewrites everything.
Yeah, right.
That's pretty interesting. Yeah.
Also, I just love Drew Barrymore, but I think that I think she'd be really cool to see in the rest of the movie.
Yeah, that is interesting.
hmm
I'd also like.
Seeing her dynamic with Stu, her
Oh my
ex,
god.
them having like a weird sort of I don't know, animosity toward each other, like gentle
Yes.
ex animosity. It'd be very fun.
Well, remember, she also unmasks the killer in that opening scene.
Right.
So if she
Right.
survived that attack and knew it was him.
I guess I'm imagining a world where she wasn't even killed, like where she wasn't attacked.
No, I know,
If
I know.
Casey Becker was just part of the fabric of the Scream first movie universe as a
Yeah.
living person.
Well, actually, along those lines, and I know I'm sticking with Scream because it's all we can talk about. But
Naturally.
I'm still dying for a killer specifically, to survive one of these movies.
Me
I'm
too.
just so surprised that they have not gone to that as a well. You
Me
know,
too.
like there's that as a story element for convenience sake, but also I just think it would be fascinating to see
hmm
what happens after one of these movies. How is justice meted out, or how
Yeah.
does the killer get away and loom large over everything that follows?
Right.
That I would like to see. Literally any killer.
I would like to see that too.
But I think that's it. Otherwise, I don't know that there's like a character that I'm like, oh, I can't
Hmm.
believe that they killed X.
I know. I'm sure there has been at some point for something.
Yeah.
I was, you know what? I was pretty shocked by the main big kill in A Quiet Place, the first one. I was
Oh,
surprised
yeah.
when that happened. So
Yes.
not that I necessarily. Well, I guess no. I guess I was bummed.
I never saw part 2. Did they hold to that?
Yes.
They did? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It always felt like they could backpedal that, but
Well, A Quiet Place. Yeah, they hold to it. Yeah, they do. I don't
okay.
want to. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a very interesting one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I was like dying for him and be like, "Oh my guy" for the rest of the movie, but I
Right.
was definitely shocked by it and bummed.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, it was so sad,
I
that
totally
kill.
get that.
Oh god, it made me cry. Oh.
Really?
Oh god, yeah.
It did make me cry,
Yeah, it made me cry.
but I'm made of steel,
That's right.
stone. I have no emotion whatsoever.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Would you rather? This is funny. This is from Christy. Would you rather live in a haunted house and you cannot move,
Okay.
which I initially read as like you're frozen to the spot, but
Me too. I did too, and then
I
I
know.
quickly pivoted. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't sell the house. You can't go away. You have to live in there.
Yep.
Or be possessed,
Ooh.
but the demon will be exorcised after 3 days.
Wow, what a
So,
good question.
Haunted house for the rest of your life, but presumably you can do anything you want.
Oh
Or
my god.
under a demon's control for 3 days.
Oh my god.
I know, it's weird.
Man, I mean, I feel I have to outright reject being under a demon's control.
But
It just
it's
seems
got a time limit.
Yeah, but you could do any manner of damage in that time.
Does everyone know that you're possessed? Is it like being on I imagine this is being on like vacation. And then I wake up, maybe the
No.
demon does some light jogging. You know,
No,
like,
William,
that I snap to.
think about Pazuzu.
Yeah.
That situation is foisted upon your home for 3 days.
That is true. Yeah.
That seems like trouble with a capital T.
But doesn't Allie know about this scenario? Can't she be like, we'll just lock Will in the other room for 3 days? It'll be over.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's always something where they get loose
Something.
or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the demon will have your voice and be crying at the door and say that it's hurt or that you're hurt, or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
And
Am
then
I
get
kept
loose.
responsible?
You can't
Yeah.
trust it.
Am I held responsible for whatever the demon does while I'm under its control?
You're not held responsible, but I think that, your friends and family are not going to see you the same way. They can't
Really?
help it.
Even if I'm like, it's
Even
not
though
going
it
to be me
wasn't
for 3 days.
it's still there. I feel like there's going to be this element of doubt. Like, was the demon kind of expressing something that was within you already?
Yeah. Oh boy.
You know?
Okay. You're
It
selling me.
taints all of your relationships for the rest of your life, I think.
All right. Well, which haunted house? What kind
Depending
of
on
haunted
what the
house?
demon does. I mean, if the demon's just chilling, it's not so bad. But if the demon's like, I don't know, doing real bad stuff.
But can you imagine how annoying it would be to live in like the poltergeist house and like you're just trying to get lunch, and then it makes you think that it's covered in maggots. And then you're brushing
Yeah,
your
but at least you
teeth,
can
and
go
suddenly
on-
you start ripping your face apart, like forever, for the rest of your life.
You could go on vacations and stuff, though. Like,
Yeah, you just can't.
maybe you
move.
can't move, but
Right.
maybe you could have like a summer home on the Cape, and then that's pretty good.
Cape Fear.
Yeah.
That's interesting. You've raised an interesting point. The idea that you could theoretically come and go as you please.
Yeah, like that has to be, your main hub, but you do have breaks from it.
Yeah, 3 days of demon. Yeah, I really was imagining like I basically go to sleep in there, and then after 3 days I wake up. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey guys, what happened? What happened while I was away?
But you could have killed a man.
The world's
You
on
could have
fire.
said horrible things that are
I
coming out
didn't
in
kill
your
a
own
man.
voice.
I didn't kill anybody.
I know, but it could be saying horrible things in your own voice
Yeah,
to people that you love.
I do
No.
value my voice.
Yeah. Yeah, what if it came and did a stinker of a podcast with me?
That'd be
Ooh.
funny. It'd be like,
That
that's the
would be
demon
good.
cast.
We're gonna lose.
Is the demon going like, and I'm inside her little brother William?
No, it's pretending to be you,
Mm.
free of the demon, and just doing a real clunker of a show.
Oh.
And we lose everyone.
Oh, so if I'm like, all right, everybody, I'm about to be possessed for 3 days, just remember that.
Mhm.
then-
But it could be like, oh, guess what? Actually,
It didn't happen. I'm fine.
Yeah.
And then it insidiously starts doing stuff.
that's
Yeah,
the kind of things that demons do.
You're right. You are
Right.
right about that. All right,
Right.
you sold me. I'm going with haunted house.
All right. All right.
We're
I'm
gonna
glad to
live
hear it.
stream in there though. We're gonna set up some like live cams and stuff. It'd be cool.
All right, here's a fun one from Rebecca. They said, if you had to pick a horror movie to live in for a night, what movie would it be and what's your survival plan?
To live in for a night.
Yeah.
Survival plan implies that you could die at any minute, right? So I think
Yeah, I mean, there's danger afoot if it's a horror movie, is kind of the implication.
right.
So,
Well, I'm just
yeah,
saying
like
I think
how
there
are you?
are horror movies where like like if you're in the movie if you're in the movie The Ring for one night,
Right.
you don't need a full
Right.
survival
Yeah.
plan because it'll take 7 days. So it
But,
has to be a movie that has immediate
Right.
danger, immediate stakes.
Hmm.
Um,
So, what would you want to live in? And also, having survival plans means you might survive. So, I think that there are a few things to consider here, like somewhere where you might, I don't know, that gives you the best odds.
yeah, that's true. So I don't want to be in Nightmare on Elm Street because that guy can
Hmm.
literally do anything.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't want to be in It.
No.
Yeah, I don't think I want to be in a slasher. I don't think I'm running away. I don't think I'm getting away from a killer.
I don't know, because what I think you're right, but also what I had first thought about slashers was that I would want to be in a situation with a mortal bad guy because I
Oh.
stand more of a chance than like Freddy going into my dreams
Meaning you might be able to kill the killer?
or just hide.
Right.
My survival, honestly, my survival plan in anything would be to hide as well as I possibly can.
So the game is really what horror movie has the most fun potential to be a part of, but you can survive. So like, what are fun
Right.
scenario horror movies? Because like, I wanted to stay away from zombies because I feel like zombie survival plan is like
Mm-hmm.
its own sort of thing and a common question. But
Yeah, and
but
we did it in the first horror hypotheticals episode. I
oh, that
think.
makes sense. But
Mhm.
also like being in Dawn of the Dead would be kind of cool. As you run around the
Yeah.
mall, you can do whatever you want. You know, I'm
That's a
going
good
for
place.
GameStop. You know, I've got my own bed at Macy's.
Yeah, and you could like go up into the vents well, somebody could. I couldn't fit into the vents,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
someone could go into the vents.
somebody could get into those vents. That's for sure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Or like a ghost movie or Signs. You know?
Oh, yeah.
But Signs are just like, what, I got to do farming? Like, I got to live on a farm?
Well, I think it was for a night, right? Let me see.
A night,
What
yeah.
did it say? Yeah, for to live in for a night. So Signs isn't so bad, you know.
I know,
Could
but yeah.
spoon with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, true. I'm gonna look up top horror franchises and let's just see what like is the most fun. You
Trying
know,
to think, like what's a
So-
fun setting?
Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Scream, Saw, Paranormal Activity. Is a fun one.
I wouldn't want to.
You're kind of just at home.
You're at home and just danger around every corner. It feels.
Yeah, that's true. The Conjuring, Final Destination, Evil Dead, Jaws, literally a day at the beach. Just don't go in the water,
Right.
right?
I'm
Oh,
trying to think
Kristen,
of what
for
a-
you, Texas Chainsaw.
Oh yeah, I would love that.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of what's like an especially cool horror movie setting
I know.
that'd be like neat to be in. I can
Sleepaway
only
Camp,
think
The
of, and I
Mummy.
wouldn't want to be here, but the castle from Crimson Peak is cool
Oh,
as
that
far
is
as settings
cool.
go.
Yeah.
And what's the horror there? I'm trying to remember. Like, do you just have to dodge Jessica Chastain?
Yeah, I guess so. And Loki, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whatever his name is, Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah. Um,
Although there's a ghost, it's not really just dodging Jessica Chastain.
that's true.
Is it even Jessica Chastain? I might be wrong. But
Ooh, Alien. Alien, you kind of like have like outer spacey stuff.
yeah, true.
Oh, you know
But
what?
you're so it is Jessica Chastain, by the way, just in case anybody was wondering. You're so enclosed, so I feel like
Yeah.
it'd be really hard to survive Alien.
That is true. Yeah. Man. I was so Doctor Sleep or The Shining because you can be in like a very fancy, beautiful hotel.
Yeah, but it's so scary. I mean, I guess you could lock yourself in the like the pantry or
Yeah.
whatever, like Wendy locks Jack in.
Oh, here's a good one. Cabin in the Woods.
Okay.
I think that's pretty cool because that almost has like an
Right.
escape room type environment. If
Yeah,
I'm in
right.
there for a night and I know that I'm being watched, I know that
Mhm.
they're going to throw, a classic horror movie threat my way. I'm in danger from that, so it's hard to plan,
Yeah.
but it seems like there's always an escape hatch somewhere to get into the control booth.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Happy Death Day. You die on a
I
loop.
thought of I thought of that. It's not a particularly fun environment to be in though.
That's
Just a
true.
college campus. Like,
That is
I
true.
don't know, it's cool, but
Uh,
it's not different enough to be like, "Oh, I would like to magic myself into this situation."
that's a very good point. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Cabin in the Woods. I think that that's very fun. I can meet Bradley Whitford.
Mhm.
Like that guy a lot.
Finally.
Really
Yep.
quippy.
Yeah.
What a silly guy.
Fast talker.
Or Scary Movie because it all seems to be cartoon logic.
It would be so annoying
Oh!
though.
Ghostbusters. It's New York.
I thought that first, but you know what? Weirdly, oh, you know why? I was about to say I didn't consider it, and then I was like, do I not think Ghostbusters is a horror movie? It was because of the survive angle. Like, I feel like that's
Right.
not something that where you're really having to worry about survival.
Yeah, you're not really
necessarily.
in danger.
So I kind of discounted it. But yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I would totally live in the Ghostbusters world for the night.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Cabin in the Woods, and I'm gonna go with entertainment or like filming knowledge to try to figure out where the cameras are
Mhm.
and put on a show and get into the booth.
And I'm going to go Crimson Peak, and I'm just gonna like hide in a nook or cranny of that gigantic manor.
Yeah, that's
But
interesting.
also look around at the grandeur.
Yes, enjoy. Yes,
Mhm.
revel in it. I completely
exactly.
understand that. I support this.
Thank you.
All right. Um, uh, do we? Oh, okay. Similar. Let's stick in a similar kind of question. I think this is kind of fun. You
Mhm.
can choose a Mike Flanagan show or movie to live in. Which one would you choose or why? So this is not just one night. This is forever. You're living in
Oh
this
boy.
story. So
Yeah.
Mike Flanagan, I think of some of the big guns of Haunting of Hill House, Haunting of Bly Manor, Doctor Sleep.
Right.
Also did Ouija 2,
Mhm.
the Ouijaning or something.
Yes. I know. I don't know what it is.
Uh,
Oracle.
Oracle, is that right?
I kind of think so.
Okay. Hush. That was a fun one.
Mhm.
Gerald's
what's it
Game is a
called?
nightmare.
It just came out Midnight Mass.
Midnight Mass, yes, of course.
Mhm.
All right, what do you think?
Oh man. I mean, there aren't like a ton of great times being had.
No, everybody's upset.
Yeah, everyone's really upset. They have some fun in Bly Manor. Like I feel like the employees there have a nice relationship with each other.
Yeah, for a brief time,
Yeah.
admittedly.
God. It wouldn't be Hill House because that's almost wall to wall misery, even though it's completely sweet.
It's beautiful.
Nobody's having a great time though.
No, they're not. That's one of the
To live in there.
Yeah, that's
Not
probably one of the
fun.
greatest shows ever made, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Greatest horror
it's-
shows, but greatest shows overall.
Yeah. It's like a towering achievement.
Yes.
But not fun to live in.
No.
Midnight Mass wouldn't be fun to live in. God, I guess I would go Bly Manor from the brief moments of enjoyment I have in the kitchen with, and also in this scenario, I work there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I go Bly Manor.
What do you do at the house? What are you doing there?
God, I don't have any real transferable skills to a home.
You got to be up to something.
Shoe shiner.
Shoe shiner. Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
Sure.
Yeah.
Shoe shiner.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm gonna be in. What is this? I'll look this up real quick. He made a show called.
Although, Dr. Sleep would be okay.
They're gonna be coming after your Steam. They're gonna kill you.
That's true, but I could buddy up with Ewan McGregor.
That's true.
As fellow former drinkers, we would have stuff in common, and then he could protect me.
Yeah, you have some stuff to talk about. He is a
Yeah.
bit of a superhero in there. Doctor Sleep is almost like X-Men in a way.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, on IMDb, he's also got a credit for something called the Firefighter Combat Challenge.
Okay.
I have no idea what this is. but it was
Huh.
a TV series in 2001, and he directed it. So that
Okay.
sounds kind of cool. I'll sit on the
Sounds
side
kind
and
of
eat
fun.
craft services, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with I think I'm gonna go with Hill House.
Okay.
But why? Why?
Yeah, that's what I was about
Why
to
am
ask.
I
It's extremely good, but think about living in it.
it does sound like a nightmare.
Yeah.
think
It's like wall to wall people in pain and misery.
Yeah, but I'm not in the Crane family, and they seem to be centrally tormented, and other people
I
just read
think
the
we're
books about it.
integrated. I
We're
think we're
integrated.
integrated though with
Oh, we're like part
whatever's
of the
going
family.
on.
Yeah, I don't know about.
But we're orbiting it in some way.
I've had enough misery.
Yeah,
How about good God? I mean,
you can still choose it, but I'm just saying. It's a toughie.
he was. Oh, it was Ouija: Origin of Evil that he made.
Oh, okay.
Um, okay, I'm gonna go with. I guess I'm gonna go with Doctor Sleep.
Okay.
I guess I'm gonna go with Doctor Sleep.
Yeah, you can hope that they're just not paying. Hopefully, Bone Daddy or Crow Daddy or whatever just isn't paying attention to you in particular. It's not a guarantee that you're the,
Right.
target.
Yeah, I don't necessarily have powers just because I'm in there.
Mhm.
I might just be a normal person.
Right.
Or I have powers and I learn how to fight back.
Oh, yeah.
Right
That's
against
true. Maybe.
Rose the Hat.
Yeah. Right.
Who
Ooh, a
knows?
formidable opponent.
Indeed.
Surprisingly formidable.
So that question was from Abby, and here's another one. This is a non-horror
That was from
question.
that question had been from Rebecca.
If you could choose a Mike Flanagan movie?
Oops. Nope.
See,
Go
you're
ahead.
a liar.
Yeah, I am.
This is a question from Abby. It's not horror. What would your mundane superpower be? So similar to Doctor Sleep, you get the steam. I'm going to horrify this non-horror question. You've got steam. It gives you some ability. What is your superpower? It can't be flight. It's got to be
Mhm.
something totally mundane.
Yeah. You know what I was about to say, but it's actually what the girl does in the movie. I was to say, I talk and it puts people to sleep.
Oh,
But that's basically what snakebite. Oh no, snakebite can just tell you to do whatever.
yeah.
I guess. Yeah, I guess I would just talk people to sleep and then do whatever needs to be done or whatever.
Yeah, or just get away from people.
Mm-hmm.
Or just walk
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, my voice, I can make them fall asleep.
I think mine is that I can do chores just by thinking about them.
Whoa. Okay, hang on. I didn't think about like practical applications like that.
Yeah, you just want to make
I
people
was thinking of
fall
myself
asleep.
as a character in the caravan thing.
Yeah, no, we're
man.
talking mundane. Like
Woo.
I'm still me. I can still like write and do stuff, but I
Right.
can also go like, man, I really gotta tidy up the basement. Well, let me just envision myself doing it. Oh, it's done. That's like a form of telekinesis, or just like almost wishing for the end product, and then it is manifest.
Right.
Dishes, mowing the lawn, everything.
Mm-hmm. I think that I would like to be able to like look at a book, or I could, what I'm saying is I would like to be able to discern the information from something
Right.
like instantly upon choosing it.
Yeah, you
Because
want to
they're
be
like,
Meteor Man.
Meteor
Do
Man?
you remember Meteor Man?
No.
Oh man, this movie was on TV all the time, and
Oh my god. Yep. No, I
you
remember
remember
now.
Meteor Man?
Yeah, it's is it Damon Wayans?
It is no, it's Robert Townsend. You're thinking of Blank Man, I think.
That's exactly what I'm thinking of.
Meteor Man is a movie where this guy becomes a superhero. I don't even know why, but I'm pretty sure that he can just touch a book, and he knows everything in it. So he's able to pick up knowledge.
That is what I would want. Yeah, I do want to be
Yeah,
Meteor Man.
You want to be Meteor Man.
Yeah, because there are like lots of books or documentaries, or whatever, that I'm like, I want to know all the knowledge of that, but I
Yeah.
don't really want to spend the time. So yeah, I want to be Meteor Man. That's what I would like.
Yeah, so I think he's struck by a meteorite, and it
Mhm.
leaves him with spectacular superpowers such as flight, X-ray/laser vision, superhuman strength, speed, and hearing, invulnerability, healing powers, and the ability to absorb a book's contents by touch, super breath, telepathy with dogs, and telekinesis. That's a lot.
Wow.
That's a lot of powers. You can only get one, and you
Yeah.
chose you can pick up a book.
Yes, that's
Okay.
what I would like.
Okay, great. Meteorcracy.
All right, Meteor Chrissy. All right, Will, I think this question is going to take us on home. This is from Mindy.
Great.
Mindy wants to know, what is a movie of any genre that you would want remade as a horror film?
Oh, so even if it's a comedy, we can now
Right.
dial up the
Horrify
horror
it.
meter.
Mm-hmm.
That's very, very interesting.
Okay, I have two off the bat. One's really like, expected, and the other I it just popped in my head. It's not fully formed.
Yeah.
The first is Willy Wonka.
Oh,
Because duh, I mean it's kind of a horror movie anyway, but to like
but go
really
fully into the like he's killing kids almost.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, to like really go into that.
Yeah.
Do you know if the Timothy Chalamet Willy Wonka is supposed to be like that at all?
I don't
Or is
know.
it just like Willy Wonka?
It looks like it's gonna scare me away.
Yeah, right.
I'll tell you that much.
Okay, so that, and then I thought Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber.
I'm not sure how this would work,
Yeah,
but these guys do blaze something of a trail of destruction in
that's
a way.
true. Yes.
So if you were to amplify that and make it scary, perhaps that would be something.
I'll tell you what, I think that Dumb and Dumber is one of those movies where people go like recut as a horror, like the horror version trailer.
Oh,
You
is that a
know?
thing?
Yeah, like
Oh,
like how
maybe
they
it was living
recut
in
The
my head.
Shining to be like
Yes.
a romantic comedy or stuff like that. I think people have re-edited Dumb and Dumber to be a horror movie
Oh,
because
okay, that makes sense.
because
Maybe
Jim Carrey I think is basically stalking that lady.
That's exactly what came to mind was
Yeah.
Jim Carrey with Lauren. I can't remember what her name is in real life, but
Her name is
yeah, that
Samsonite. He was way
yeah
off.
was way off. So yeah, I think that might be interesting. And what do you got?
Yeah, I've got a couple here that I think are kind of fun. For one, and this is weird, but hear me out. It's not a specific movie necessarily, but so maybe I'm cheating, but The Muppets.
Okay.
There a few years ago, there was a Muppet murder mystery thing.
Mm-hmm.
So saw the trailer about 1,000,000 times. Was so disinterested in it. It was like very broad comedy, but the idea
It wasn't
was
the
somebody was
literal
murdering.
Muppets; it was puppets, right?
It was puppets, but it was
With
from the
Melissa
Jim Henson.
McCarthy.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was an R-rated, but it was from like the Jim Henson company.
it was.
Yeah, like it's like directed by Brian Henson.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and it looks horrible. But I
Yes.
had seen concept art of it even years before that, where it looked like a fairly toned down noir.
I too remember this.
Where I
yes.
think they understood initially that the fun of it is the contrast of their puppets solving a crime. So if you
Right.
go to a murder scene, there's fluff everywhere and it's all tagged as evidence. But I
Mhm.
wanted that to be more methodical and thoughtful. And
Yeah.
then they did it like big, ridiculous physical comedy raunch.
Yeah.
Somebody said, this has to be raunchy. I want a raunchy puppet.
Right.
And then out came that movie.
Mhm.
Don't want that. I do think that it would be kind of fun to do like, like the Muppet Christmas Carol, but do like Muppet Shining or do,
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like a
that-
Muppet version of something and do it relatively straight, but with a sense of humor.
Yeah.
I think
I'd
that
be
would be
into
fun.
that. That sounds good.
Adapt a classic horror with the Muppets.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds great.
So
I'd be
what-
very into
What
that.
classic horror would I want? You want to do like honestly, how about like Muppet Hill House? Right? Like
I don't know.
no? Kermit the Frog is Hugh Crane. Sounds interesting.
I don't know.
No? Miss Piggy in an
more
open
interested-
grave pulling
Yeah,
Fozzie down.
I'm a little more interested in Muppet The Shining. I feel like a lot of the
Yeah.
the horror of Hill House is just like very real life pain.
Brutal depression, sadness, mourning,
Yeah,
loss.
I don't know if I want to
Yeah.
see Gonzo going through that.
Yeah, Gonzo going Gonzo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like Muppet Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
kind
that
of fun.
sounds great.
Like Muppets are getting knocked off left and right, and they're like, wow!
Yeah,
And
wait,
the
and the-
fluff goes
in the-
flying up.
And the killer is Fozzie's mom.
Oh my god! Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
Fozzie.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful. I think that's great.
would
Yeah,
love
Muppet
that.
Friday the 13th is what I want.
Ugh,
Plus,
that
it's
sounds
been
great.
so long since there's been a Friday the 13th movie. There's so much
Right.
pressure. That's the other thing. There's so much pressure to bring Friday the 13th back for the
Mhm.
13th movie it will be, and do it
Right.
right or something. It's been in limbo forever because of lawsuits. Wipe the slate clean. Make Muppet Friday the 13th, and now you can start over and
The
make
thing.
a real horror movie.
Yeah,
That's,
totally.
That's one of my votes.
Well, I think that's a beautiful vote to
You know
end
what?
on.
Anything else is not going to live up to it. I want Muppet Friday the 13th. That's it.
Yeah,
Full stop.
I would absolutely love that.
Yes.
So, everyone out there, thank you so much for sending in your questions. We have plenty more.
Oh, a ton more.
So, don't you worry. We will absolutely be doing this again because I find this so, so fun. And I
I
think
love
Will
it.
does too. Yeah.
I love talking ourselves out of a paper bag. I
It's
love
so
debate.
fun.
It's just goofy. It's fun, and I love seeing what people are interested in having us talk about. So to that end, if there's something, if this says pinged a question in your mind you want to hear us ruminate on, or just answer straight, even send
Mm-hmm.
that stuff to us right now. gttupod@gmail.com.
Yep. Absolutely. And if you would like to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/gttupod, where we have a number of different tiers that you can check out. You can get up to a bonus episode every single week. And we also have a Discord that's really awesome and popping off all the time. And it's the number one best way to support the show and keep us running. And we thank our existing patrons so much, and we feel really proud of what's over there, so go check it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Patreon.com/gttupod.
And I dare say, not to toot our own horn, I think we've got one of the greatest shows we ever did.
I could not agree with you more.
This past Monday, Kristen and I watched clips of David Copperfield, an
Yep.
insanely famous magician from the 90s. We watched clips of this guy. It is dramatic. It is
Whew.
theoretically gruesome. He cuts himself in half a lot.
Yes.
And it is bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
Bizarre. I had so much fun watching David Copperfield clips. It was mind blowing. Go get that right now. It's available on Patreon. You will not regret it.
No, I really don't think you will. I do
Oh,
think it's one of our best.
just wonderful. And a
It's so
reminder:
good.
share Guide to the Unknown out there. Enter your name to win this Scream Steelbook. Again, we're going to be announcing who wins this thing on Friday the 22nd. That's next week's show that will reveal who won. So as many posts as you want. That's how many times your name goes in the hat.
Yep.
Get this thing. Put it up on your shelf.
Absolutely. And just send us those screenshots at gttupod@gmail.com. And then
Yeah.
you are all good.
If we don't know you did it, your name can't be in the hat. So you gotta let
Right.
us know.
We're not going to be checking all of the different things. You definitely have to email us. So please keep that in mind.
What am I, made of time?
Yeah, right. Also, just quick mention, we're going to keep mentioning it until it actually happens. We are going to be at the Jersey Devil Fable Festival on May 7th in Asbury Park. So we would love to see you there. We're going to be doing a live show. If you'd like to get more information about that, then just look up the Paranormal Bookstore in Asbury Park. And on their website, they're going to have everything you need to know.
Yep. It's going to be super fun. It's going to be wonderful to see people in public for the
Yep.
first time in a million years, like physically together in one space. It'll be fun to do a live show for the first time in years. So make sure that you come out if you're in the area.
Yeah,
Um,
please do.
Follow at GTTUpod all over the place, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, to keep up to date with what we're doing. GTTUpod.com is the home of Guide to the Unknown. All episodes, links to merch, links to Patreon, everything you can find there. You can even follow us online.
Yep, I'm at Chillin' Kristen.
I am at The Myth Traveler. So thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We hope that maybe we answered your question. Maybe there were other questions that you have in mind that you want to have answered. Maybe it's already on the list. We'll definitely come back to it at some point. So thank you so much. We'll be back next week for, well, something different. But until that time comes, we must travel.
Back to the netherworld go we.